Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Nelson from Florida. Please put in the chat where you're watching from. And if you have any questions for our guests, which I'm going to introduce in a second, please, uh, like I said, tell us where you're watching from. And if you have any questions for Mr. Homesick Buckeye, Russ, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm great, brother. I'm doing all right. Everything is wonderful. And buenos nachos to you. How about that? Oh, I'm sorry. That's not that's how we do it.
I am putting your channel in the chat
Love it.
just in case anyone that watches here doesn't know who you are. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and
Well, I love it.
let's talk about your journey with this way of eating.
Love that. I am Russ Mitchell, the homesick Buckeye. Everybody kind of knows me as that. If you're not familiar with me, I've got a channel on YouTube where we try to have a lot of fun. You're not going to learn anything on my channel. We don't try to teach anything. We are just a fun social channel. I do silly things. We have a live stream every Tuesday night where we just hang out and fellowship as a family, try to laugh, have some smiles. I'd sing songs and do silly characters and things of that nature. I let the important, smart people, you know, teach things and all that. I come get these jokes. That's what I always say. And I'm very happy to be on this episode of Handsome and Hairless. Thank you for inviting me.
we go to the same barber.
Yes. That's exactly right. That's the show this week. Handsome and Hairless, starring Homesick By and Doc Nelson. There you go.
All righty. So tell us a little bit about your struggles and how you ended up following a ketogenic diet and this way of eating and any successes you may have had.
Man, listen, if I was here talking about my struggles, brother, we ain't got that kind of time. So I don't know how long this program is, but you want to have a YouTube marathon? Yeah, I can come on here and we can talk about my struggles. But I don't think my story is much different than most. It started when I was a kid. I was always the fat kid and that sort of thing. Grew up that way. I came from a family of folks that, man, boy, they could rattle them pans, Doc. I had aunts and grandmas and moms and buddy that tell you what, they could rattle them pans. And so, but it was all the wrong things. I had that Southern influence. So it's just, diabetes in any form you want to get it. You can drink it, you can eat it, but you're going to get it. So one way or the other. So that's how I came up. And God bless them, they didn't know better. I mean, you know as well as I do how many people don't have any idea even today about the diets they're eating. So imagine what it was like 50 years ago, trying to navigate those waters for folks. So came up eating all the wrong things. And as is my nature, I was a silly, fun guy. And yeah, I got teased and stuff as a kid, but I would give it right back to him. I wasn't, wasn't the kid that would shrink. And then as I became older, I began to embrace it. I was a very happy fat guy for a long time. I was big dog. I was big daddy, Papi Grande. So it's like, I just embraced that. That became kind of my identity. And then as I got older, fortunately, I didn't have any health problems. I've never spent a night in the hospital. I've never taken a medication other than the antibiotic. Didn't have any problems. That way I wasn't sickly. I just was getting heavier and heavier. And I got to the point where I just couldn't sustain my weight. I couldn't stand long enough to shave. I couldn't get my trash out to the curb. I just literally was just getting heavier and heavier. And so it was a spiral that started when I got injured and busted up my knee pretty good. And then, you know, uh, I was down for a while, and then it just spiraled from there. So I did what pretty much most people do. Started um, eating a bunch of low fat meats and vegetables, and did all the things that we're taught to do. Eat a bunch of salads and stuff like that. And of course, that didn't work. I got sicker. I got fatter. I was hungry all the time. I was just a hot mess. And so, to summarize, basically, to fast forward, the only thing I'd ever tried in my life that had ever worked for me was Atkins, and that was like in the '90s, late '90s, I think, or maybe early 2000s. And of course, we all know about that and his program, and it's going to kill you, cholesterol and fat and all that stuff. So, but it's the only thing that worked for me, and so I just decided to try that, and I started researching it for the wrong reasons. I started researching it to see how bad it would get. That really is the truth. I started looking online. I'm like, how bad is this going to get? What can I expect? And I really couldn't find anything. Couldn't find anybody that was on there saying, "Hey, the Atkins diet ruined my life," or "Oh, I had a heart attack or stroke," or those types of things. I couldn't find it, and so I started just dibbling and dabbling, lowering my carbs and stuff like that. And it took me a while, but then I got to where I am today, where I'm pretty carnivore. Hope that answers it. Did that ramble answer your question?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I do have a couple of questions. One, you said, and I'm witness to this being true. You're a funny guy, and I believe I've heard you mention that you have actually done stand-up comedy.
Oh yeah, I did stand up comedy for almost 2 years here in Florida, and now I do sit down comedy on the internet. So, yeah, yeah. If you have my face, I think I have some clips on my Facebook page, and folks are Facebook friends of mine. I might have one or two old clips. It was a long time ago. Um, I think I have a couple of clips on there from some old stand-up stuff I did. Yep.
Okay. So we were recently in Columbus, Ohio, and our meetup happened to have been in a comedy club.
Yeah,
Uh, so you actually spoke for a few minutes there,
I did.
and
Chelsea took all my time, so I could see Ashley pacing the room in the back of the room there. So, I took it easy on him and just kept it to a few minutes.
uh, so Atkins. I also became familiar with Atkins. Probably my first exposure to Atkins was when I wasn't even a doctor yet,
Mhm.
and one of my cousins, uh, she had a weight problems from a young age. We were adolescents, I guess, at the moment, and she started eating a bunch of meat, and come to find out, it was the Atkins diet. It was the induction portion of the Atkins, and the Atkins
Mhm.
is basically a ketogenic diet. Is the granddaddy of them all, probably. Actually, if we go back 150 years, the Banting diet was what the Atkins diet was in the 1960s and 70s. 100 years before that, it was called Banting, but it never got, of course, popularized. But I became aware of the Atkins diet in probably the 70s. Uh, my first exposure probably was, like I mentioned, my cousin. And years later, after I was a physician, I actually used the Atkins diet myself. And even though I have always used it with patients, not not necessarily recommending the Atkins diet, but first thing to cut to all my patients that have had diabetes and chronic problems have been, you know, cut the sugar, the limit the carbohydrates from wherever they're coming. But I never stuck myself with it. I used it to lose 40 pounds, and then I went back to my, because 40 pounds seemed to have been a 30, 40 pounds was usually the result after a couple of months. And yeah, okay, I'm happy with this. If I keep losing, I'm gonna have to buy new clothes. So
Yeah. Well,
uh,
even Dr. Atkins in the book says don't do this for a long time. The
yeah.
induction phase is just for a couple of weeks or whatever to get you to ketosis, and then you're supposed to do something else.
So
So,
60 years later,
yeah,
my modification to the Atkins diet would be, no, you actually can do this
yeah,
for a long
yeah,
time. And of course, even though people have mostly been eating like this for hundreds, if not thousands of years, uh, the recommendation back then was start adding carbohydrates again. Don't stay like this. And obviously, to any carbohydrate, low carbohydrate diet, keto diets, even carnivore nowadays, the doctors will say, "Oh no, that's gonna kill you. You cannot do this.
yeah.
It cannot be
Well,
sustainable."
the number one, the absolute trump card that they all try to play is cholesterol. That's I don't care if you talk to any vegan, vegetarian, doctor, standard, it's always cholesterol. Oh, you can't do that. Your cholesterol is going to go to 1,000. If once you understand that myth and get through that, it's really downhill from there because that's the only thing that they say. That's the man, they cling to that like a port in a storm. Oh, your cholesterol. Oh, your cholesterol. So once you understand that and get over that and push through that and realize cholesterol is not your enemy, and cholesterol is in fact your friend, it really gets easier to do. At least that's what I've seen with the folks that I've interacted with. You would know more than that than me.
Well, I'm still looking for all those studies that prove
Right.
a low carbohydrate diet is bad,
Yeah.
and all the fear mongering for 50, 60 years since Atkins came with the first book. uh I really haven't found anything other than opinion,
Yeah.
because you do find plenty. Do a search, and it's going to talk about cholesterol, just like you said. But there have been plenty of studies with ketogenic diets. By the way, it's the most studied diet really in history. But because it it doesn't end with a medication being available and sold, might not be pushed too much for certain things. Now we're seeing, and all this anecdotal, right? But you hear about the people with not only diabetes reversing or pre-diabetes reversing, but you also see the people with multiple sclerosis and chronic epileptic seizures and Alzheimer's, Parkinson's,
Yeah.
and all these even rare autoimmune disorders improving. People with lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and it is I hear this now frequently. It still surprises me. Doesn't surprise me anymore in the sense that I could not have expected that. I hear it almost every day now. But it is so refreshing to see and hear from someone whose health has improved. And yes, there is a cholesterol issue because very often the cholesterol goes up. And I was today speaking to a couple. One of them is a physician, and they're concerned about cholesterol. But they are feeling great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is it a risk? Maybe.
Getting out of bed
Uh,
in the getting out of bed in the morning is a risk, and like I tell people too in my travels, there are hundreds, and it seems like 10 new ones a day of people who've gone from vegetarian, vegan to heavy meat keto or carnivore, something like that, and seen tremendous results. I don't know of a single channel, although I'm sure there's probably one, where somebody went from carnivore or heavy meat, keto back to vegan or vegetarian. I don't. I've never seen a channel. Um, if there is one, I don't know where it is. But one thing I did want to ask you, a little bit of a medical thing. I have a friend of mine that has Graves' disease, and what would you say to a person with Graves' disease about a heavy meat keto or ketovore, carnivore diet or low carb diet in general? Um, what's been your experience with patients that have that sort of problem?
well, Graves' disease is an autoimmune condition, and very often Graves causes hyperthyroidism. And very often these people end up on the other side of the spectrum because the treatment might include uh, poisoning the thyroid with iodine, radioactive iodine, right? To treat it, to kill it, kill its function, and you end up having to use thyroid replacement. Uh, it seems all autoimmune conditions, I haven't seen autoimmune conditions getting worse. Okay.
Mhm.
May not improve, but it seems a great number of them actually get better. Is it going to cure Graves' disease? I don't know. Could it improve it? I'm pretty sure it can be improved, and many people have been able to even get off medications. So the thyroid, it's an easy one. It does improve, whether it's because of thyroid or any other condition affecting any other part of the body, thyroid included. All autoimmune conditions seem to improve. So it's amazing because red meat has been always thought to be inflammatory,
Mhm.
and autoimmune conditions are really inflammatory conditions. That's the way they cause the damage. And now we have, wait a second, you mean if I only eat meat? And it seems to be more the carnivore diets, the low carb, high fat diets, than any type of low carb diet because you're still eating a lot of plants. And I'm not saying, I'm not the doctor who says plants are going to kill you, but maybe they are trying to.
Yeah.
uh, Now, have you ever been strict vegetarian?
Yes. Yeah. I went vegetarian for a few months in my search, um, for better health. And I've talked about it many times. I grew up Seventh Day Adventist, so growing up as a kid, you're always within arm's length of the vegetarian diet. I went to 4 years of boarding school, Adventist boarding school, no meat. My first year of college, Adventist college, no meat. Um, you know, so yeah, I that's the first place I went when I just said, "Hey, I got to try to get healthier, get better." Yeah, I was juicing and doing all kinds of different things again that I had grown up around, even though my family was not vegetarian. Most of them, some of them were, but most of them weren't. You learn about it and you know about it, and that's kind of your default setting when things aren't going right or you're not feeling well. Oh, let me get these fruits and vegetables, and um, it obviously didn't work. It just didn't work
So
for me.
compared to then, how do you feel now compared to
Oh,
when you were
man,
eating like that?
it's I have to say, when I went from standard American diet to a vegetarian diet, I did feel a little better. Um, but I was gaining weight. I was hungry all the time. And I wouldn't say I felt good. I would say I felt better, especially now that I've gone to, like I said, where, to the more of the carnivore side. So it's not even close. It's not. I can't even describe it. The people who've done this, they know what I mean. Um, and because I suspect it's because it's hard to get into ketosis eating all this stuff. I mean, I used to eat a bowl of granola in the morning, and I used to eat bunches of fruit and vegetables. I used to get the big 3-pound bags of vegetables from Costco, and beans and rice and brown rice and lentils. And I mean, I was just pounding this stuff, man, thinking that it was good for me and that. And so, um, I don't know that it's possible to get to ketosis because you're still eating so many carbs. But
Yeah.
once you get that stuff out of your life and you start eating a diet, a truly ketogenic diet that enables you to get into ketosis, stay in ketosis for periods of time, that's, I think, when you really get the wind in your sails, because I think that that state of ketosis, that's Wakanda, man. That's Shangri-La. That's the land of milk and honey, if you're a Bible guy. And so the body just reacts differently when it's in ketosis than when it's not. That's one goofy guy in Jacksonville's opinion.
So even people who follow a vegan diet, and it is difficult to get in ketosis, certainly with a vegan diet. A couple of problems there because you're always hungry, like you said, and you get it. I mean, you're eating carbs basically, so it's very difficult for someone who's absolutely strict vegan to try to get into ketosis. They have to incorporate uh, a lot of oils, and because if they are vegan, they're probably not having butter, they're not having fish, they're not having eggs, which
It's worse than that. They're eating plant butter, or some
yeah.
goofy, some bags, a block of seed oil.
So, and I mean, there are studies, some studies that have been even unearthed, because like the Minnesota coronary experiment that pitted corn oil against animal fat, and it showed that it decreased cholesterol. Oh, great! But the group with the corn oil had more strokes.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
lowering cholesterol doesn't always mean less cardiovascular disease. And when you go and revisit that study and many other studies, you find that lowering cholesterol is not the end game. It's avoiding the stroke and the all-cause mortality and the lower heart attacks. A few years ago, not too long ago, 2 3 years ago, uh, revisiting a study, someone realized, wait a second, when we weed out all the confounders in this study, red meat actually has a statistically significant risk reduction in cancer. So, whether the processed meat is the one that might increase your risk for that or not remains to be seen. A lot of people don't believe that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think the vegan diet is just as bad as the standard American diet in large measure, because yeah, man, you got every variety of fake steak and phony bologna, and they got all these goofy, milks and creams and plant butters and all this food. It's just any kind of poison you can imagine, they've got it in some type of vegan thing. And the vegetarians, at least, will have some butter, will eat some eggs, and they've got some plant, fats and plant proteins in their life to a higher degree. But by the same token, it's I wasn't doing it quite that way, but there's a lot of folks that eat a lot of bread and a lot of pasta. Now, for me, I was listen. I have to laugh about it now when I look back. I believed that there was a such thing as a superfood. And listen, I don't know how many sweet potatoes it takes to kill a man, but I'm telling you right now, if sweet potatoes could, if there was an over under on sweet potatoes that could send me to a grave, I'd have covered it because I was eating sweet potatoes and brown rice and like I said, lentils and all this stuff. Like I was born to do it, and it's just like I said, looking back on it, all you can do is laugh because I thought those things were good for me. I had not an argument, but a discussion with my dad probably last week. He was trying to tell me how nutritious a sweet potato was, and I'm like, man, eat what you want, Dad. Eat what you want, but there's nothing in a sweet potato that's gonna keep you alive. It'll keep you from being hungry for about an hour. But after that, you know,
He's still trying, and I've met
I love
your
that. Shout
I've
out
met
to
your
Dad.
dad
He might
twice.
be listening.
Uh,
Out there.
actually, he's doing pretty good.
Yes, my dad got a blood work test done, fasting insulin down to 8.5, glucose is 84. Shout out to Dad. Love Dad. He's doing a great job. Eat what you want, Dad. Eat all the sweet potatoes you want. Uh, and I send him ribeyes and stuff too, so he eats that too. So a little ribeye
So
and a sweet potato. Hey man,
we have a
I
question
got it.
here for you. Now I'm gonna let you answer it in whichever way you want. But the question is for you. I'm not gonna answer it. George, good enough. George asked, could Russ please explain the Randall cycle?
Yes, that's our good friend in the UK, jolly old England. Cheerio, pip pip, and have a sporty. That's our guy out there. Can I explain the Randall cycle? That'd be a negative Ghost Rider. I could, but I won't for the sake of time. That's how I answer that, so people don't realize. See, listen, these glasses make me look a lot smarter than I am. I really listen. I'm telling you. So when people see these glasses, it fools them. They think, "Oh, that guy there, he knows a little bit of something." So I know how to you know, I know how to move and maneuver. So it's like, well, listen, we don't have that kind of time there, George. Can't explain that. Send me an email and we'll break that down for you. Thank you. See what I did there, Doc? You see how I did that?
All right. I'm not answering that question, George. But he knows that if he wants to talk about the Randall cycle,
Yes.
uh,
George knows what he's doing there. George is trying to be funny.
he
That's some of that dry wit, that dry English wit there. See, he's trying to make me look like a dummy, and that's not hard to do. But not today, George. You didn't get me today.
go and watch Professor Bard if you want to know about the the Randall cycle. All right. Now we have a bunch of people here, and many of them are friends of yours as well. Um, I remember thinking that was crazy when he was on Atkins, says Terry. He was making great progress, but for whatever reason stopped and ended up dying a long and painful death. He's one of my whys.
I could probably,
And
just a quick thought that hits me. The reason he stopped was probably could have been because his doctor told him to. Just guessing. I don't know for sure, but God bless Dad and that I've had many people in my travels and my evangelism tell me that they were eating ketogenic, they were having great results, and their doctor told them stop unless you want to go to an early grave.
so I don't know if I've mentioned this to you, but I know I've mentioned it before. Uh, I don't know how long I'm going to live. I don't know how long you're going to live. yesterday the nation, the world found out that a 31-year-old met sudden death.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen. I could go drive a car,
Yeah.
get on a plane, So
I'm just
I
trying to
don't.
make it to the end of the show, Doc. I'm just trying to make it to the end of the show, Doc. That's all I'm trying to do, man. Just get
So
to the show.
hanging my hat on trying to increase life expectancy to me is not worth it. However, improving the quality of life that I live while I'm here until whatever happens, I think is worth doing. And, you know, if I have lifted, improving many conditions, I am feeling better. And I keep hearing every day people who have gotten better by
Yeah.
changing this way of eating to a more animal based, carnivore, whatever you want to call it. Some people still have some fruits and nuts and some vegetables. Uh, I am very intolerant to carbohydrates. I have the ultimate intolerability of carbohydrates. I had diabetes for almost 30 years, and the carbs are not my friend. So even if I like them, I grew up eating rice, beans, with a side of root vegetables, whether it was potatoes or any other roots that we eat in the Caribbean, Puerto Rico. Uh, they are not my friend. Morning cornflakes
Yeah.
with skim milk, because in the
Yeah.
60s my mom was told, "Oh, you gotta go low fat." Uh, so for years it was skim milk in the house.
Yeah.
Uh, they can be those patterns of eating without probably proper supplementation in particular can be dangerous. I don't know if what George William Banting. Okay, now I realize the name he's mentioning was a London-based undertaker to the royal family. So let's see. I'm looking for other comments and questions here, of course. Here we have what about all my heart attacks? Says Rick.
Rick doesn't have them, he causes them. That's right. He causes heart attacks.
We have someone from Fiji.
Love that.
Okay.
Love that. It's a long way. Welcome.
All right. Rocking Coach Amy says
Hey.
hi, Russ and Dr. Nelson.
Hello there, beloved. Good to see Amy around. Amy's doing her thing. Coach Amy.
M says we need glucose for cholesterol to even cause buildup. Uh, let's see.
Yeah, I saw something the other day on the new there was I guess some type of new device that just got some type of new glucose monitor. I can't think of the name of it that just got approved by the FDA. And I was watching a program, and the CEO of the company came on and made a comment that glucose is the body's primary source of fuel. And I just thought to myself, yeah, if you're not metabolically healthy, it is your primary source of fuel. And he went on to talk about his device and how different it was than other devices or whatever.
What was
But
the device for?
glucose monitor. It's a new glucose monitor, continuous glucose monitor. I can't think of the name of it, but it just got FDA approval maybe like a week ago. It's a different brand. It's not it's not Dexcom or the other one. I can't think of it. I might be able to figure it out while you're going through the comments here. Let me if I can find look it up.
So this is a common misconception, and I know not by you, but we need glucose in our bodies. We need it so much that our own body produces it. Do we have any need to ever ingest it in the amounts that we have been ingesting in the past 50, 60 years? No. You could live your life without ever having a plant. I mean, most carbohydrates come from plants, most sugar comes from plants. So you can live your life and your body will produce any glucose you need. So the fallacy there is that people, oh, you gotta eat the glucose because it's fuel for your body. No, you don't have to eat any uh, any carbohydrates because they basically all end up converting to glucose. Uh, and that's where the fallacy lies when you start asking those questions and having conversations with people who oppose your way of eating because of that. Wait a second. Yeah. I mean, you can live without it without ingesting it. You
Yeah.
cannot live without glucose. Yes.
Well, your body can make its own glucose and its own fat. It can't make its own protein. And it's called Signos, Signos. I'm looking here at a news thing. FDA approves first ever glucose monitoring system for weight loss from Signos. And this was dated August 20th, so I guess it's a couple weeks old. And I can't think of the gentleman's name, but it's a CGM, and it has an uh, AI app that goes with it that tells you, whatever it tells you. But the major point was, and it's crazy because as soon as he said it, it hit me. Like when it said, "Well, glucose is your body's primary source of fuel," and I'm like, bing, ding, ding, ding. It's like all the things I've learned immediately. I came, it's like all the bells started going off. I'm like, hold up, wait a minute,
Your
hold.
body actually prefers
Yeah,
fat,
fat. Fat is the
definitely.
primary source of fuel for the body. It is not glucose. Unfortunately, it is glucose for us, our sick society, but it shouldn't be. If you're metabolically healthy, fat is your primary fuel source and not sugar.
Can you see that number?
75.
Yeah, right now.
Look at that. Right. That's
This morning I had
what's that? Your IQ? What's that?
that.
No, that's my IQ. That's the IQ. You haven't
that
been listening to me, although that's my IQ.
that will be some invention, having a continuous IQ meter.
Hey, listen,
Let's work on that.
you can
You
tell
know,
if
you,
you set it in the room. You can tell if you're getting dumber as the time goes on. Yeah, but hello there, Mr. Black. Good to see you in here, beloved. But
well, you
no,
you know, this has nothing to do with carnivore, but you know that they say, and I don't know who they are right now, but many people do say it. You are the product of the five people you spend the most time with, right? You've
yeah,
heard that.
yes,
So, hey, if you spend time with five other people in the 75 range, you'll be 75 of IQ
yeah.
as well.
There you go. Well, two of the people I hang around with the most are me myself. So that's there you
All
go.
right. And you forgot me, myself, and I, right?
Yeah, well, I'm the other two I hang out with are me and myself. Stay with me, Doc. Stay with me. That's Kurt. How you doing, brother? Good to see Meathead in the chat. Hey to everybody that said hey to me. I'm sorry if I missed you there. Uh, doing the best I can here. I tell you, these glasses will fool you. I'm telling you, these glasses. My IQ
I'm
is
big.
75, 85 with the glasses.
All right. So we have Meathead here. We have rocking coach Amy. Uh let's see. We have Lambs,
Hey,
uh
let's see Lambs.
Sandy. I did catch that comment, Sandy, that you said hello to Russ and not to me. That's
Yes,
fine.
hello, my beloved Sandy's, and Sandy's always supports my channel, supports a lot of folks' channel. God bless her.
Oh,
Good to see you,
Luis.
beloved.
Luis,
Luis, good to see.
it's watching from Colombia. Unless you're
Hmm.
on this side of the world.
Yeah.
And we have Rick, Cowboy Karate TV.
Yes, Quack Attack is always lurking. Are these guys Carmo? Yeah, are you literate, my man? He says he's typing
I'm
with
sure he's trying to make a joke, but
he's typing with his feet. That's what he sounds like. He's got he's trying to text with his big toe, brother. Just be safe out there if you're driving.
carnivore coach Edens,
Yes, look at that. So,
Anthony, Terry Sue.
hello there, Terry. Soon. Yep, a lot of the gang's all here. All the folks that hang out with us on Tuesday nights. A lot of folks hang out
Yeah,
with us on Tuesday night.
we're coming in. We're gonna go into development of the continuous IQ meter,
Yes, that's right. That's
and
right.
we're gonna test it in at the Homesick Buckeye channel.
That would not be a good place to test it. I can tell you there. That's yeah. You won't hit the high. I can tell you that. You won't. If you want to test the low side of the meter, that's yeah, you can do that. But if you want to test the high side of the meter, go over there with Dr. Kiltz and Bart K and those guys and Doc Nelson, and they will push the limits of it. Yeah, Signos is the name of the.
So Noslo here, 13th day. I believe he's trying to do 14, so he's probably at the end of it.
Love that. That's outstanding.
Very
I have
good.
yeah, I've started a night fasting program. Some people call it sleep. I refuse. I don't eat anything when I'm sleeping. I refuse. I will not do it. I've been perfect. I don't know. Many. I've lost count of the days, but my night fasting program is very successful.
By the way, I have been carnivore for 805 days.
Love that. Love that.
Let's see. This is a question for you. Thoughts on eating raw beef?
Yes, if I had 4 claws and a tail, I'd be all about that. But no. Just since the advent of fire, we cook our meat, and I'm gonna go with that. That's yes. I'll take no E. coli for 100, Doc. Listen, me and Doc. Shout out to Kiltsy. He's out there somewhere. And wherever he's at, he's moving. I guarantee you that. Wherever he's at right now, he's not standing still. And he better not be in Jacksonville. Doc Kiltz, if you're out there and I find out you set 1 foot in my city, didn't call me, you better just take off running next time you see me. That's all I got to say. But I'm not that far in my evolution yet. I just got to where I can comfortably eat medium rare. Okay. So same way with the organs. Brothers, man, we play the organ. We don't eat organs. That's how we roll on that. And I think it's wonderful.
Do you take any capsules, any desiccated liver or organs?
Yeah, I probably listen. If you ground it up and put it in something, you have to trick me like a dog. You have to put it in a hot dog or something. And just feed it to me like a pet. Something like that. You'd have to do that, but yeah, if you ground it up in something, I probably, yeah. But just to sit there and stare down a cow kidney, no, thank you, man. It's just I can't get there. But listen, everybody's at different places in their path. Just like the fasting, I think it's great. I'm just not there yet in my process. I'm trying to just stay out of the drive-throughs. That's really, just make it through the day. If I get hungry, that's the fastest way to derail me. I have to keep food prepared. I have to, have the right things around me because, hunger always wins. And
That is right. It
I
does.
get hungry. the next thing you know, I'm face down in a pile of mashed potatoes and gravy, and that's not good for any of us.
So you mentioned Dr. Kills. He likes to eat mostly black and blue, but he'll have rare. Uh, I mean, raw meat. I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
had any
we
raw
have
beef.
had this conversation.
I haven't had any raw beef today, but this morning, I don't know if any of you. Yeah, I know many of you were in the morning live here, and you saw that I had a ribeye steak. By the way, it was 2.77 pounds, a Wagyu ribeye steak. I have four of those in the freezer. And I got hungry. So I had some lamb shoulder chops, which I had salted a couple of days ago. And they were on a rack on my refrigerator. And I went and ate one of them raw. Hey,
Hey man, listen, take a walk on the wild side. Listen. I'm in favor of everything. I love everything. If you look coming to me, listen to each his own. I keep it simple. Just keep the main thing the main thing. That's where I'm at in my journey. Just I eat when I'm hungry. I do my best to just eat the right things, the high fat and protein, and stay away from the carbohydrates and that. And that's where I'm at right now in my on my path. And who knows, man? Listen, if you told me a year ago that I would eat ground beef without onions and peppers and that in it, I'd have told you, yeah, get out, get away from me, no shot. I do it all the time. So it's just one of those things. Uh, I'm on a path, and I just try to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and I don't know where it is. I say it all the time. My story is still being written.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we're in the early chapters. We're in the first inning of this thing.
So, where do you stand in getting chips implanted in your body?
What, potato chips? We don't eat those. We don't do that. Corn chips, tortilla chips, no kind of chips, high carb. I can't believe you'd ask me a question like that. Does Dr. Kiltz know that you're trying to get you to put chips in my body? Is he aware? I'm. This is ridiculous. I can't believe it. But okay, no, sir, no
How,
chips.
how about computer chips?
They're not edible, sir. What kind of doctor are you? What kind of what kind of doctor? What kind of quack? Are you a doctor like Dr. Dre? I don't eat computer chips, sir. I'm sure there's some kind of poison. Don't they have lithium and stuff in them there? I don't. No, listen, I think in all seriousness, to get serious, uh I I think what's the continuous glucose monitors, are kind of a step in that direction almost. It's, injecting something into yourself with a computer chip in it, you know, but
It's
it's
not
not
that
the
far.
same as
It's not that far fetched, I guess. I
yeah,
taste it
but
on the outside, but
yeah, but in terms of a computer chip, I mean, I don't know. It would depend on what purpose. I guess I couldn't get lost that way if if you have maybe a family or loved one that's gets lost or something, put a chip in them. I'd have to know the purpose of it. What's it going to be good for? What's it going to do? Aren't they doing something like that for people with brain disorders or hearing
oh yeah, yeah.
cochlear implants or something? Do they have computer chips in them?
They Mr. Musk has already developed some of that technology, and they are, I think, testing stages. I don't think it's been approved for any,
Hmm.
but people with Parkinson's, for example, they get uh, basically a chip. They get some implants, and it helps them control tremendously their movements.
Yeah, I'm not. Again, it depends on what it's for, but hey man, if it helps somebody have a better life, if technology gets to the place where you can put a chip in somebody and help them with the disease or help them with to make their life better, I'm all about it. Now, if you're kidnapping people and putting chips in them for the some nefarious purpose, I don't stand for that. But I could see the day coming where you could put a chip in somebody to help them have a better quality of life, and I'm all about that.
The other day, I was watching a movie, Dark Acid, and it's about a brain, a chip implant. If you like those kind of movies, Dark Acid. Rick said that he fasts for about 12 hours, and he also eats raw beef. The
Oh
only I know some people eat raw ground beef,
yeah,
and that's the one that a burger patty. I may do it medium rare, but not. I don't know. I don't eat it completely uncooked. It's the only one that I would probably not do that because I don't know, forever the only meat that has gone bad on me was actually a ground beef and developed some mold of some kind, and that's probably because the machine it was put through wasn't completely sterile. Cindy the man, she is saying
oh,
hi.
hello there, beloved. Good to see you, Cindy.
Okay. So someone mentioned these guys are pretty funny. We'll be here all week. No.
Yeah, speak.
We're gonna have Abbott and Costello stand up next time.
Well,
Uh, who's on first?
sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying, Doc.
Rick thinks is the carp capital of the world, Miami. I don't know about that. It seems everywhere you go nowadays, everybody's eating pure carbs, ultra processed food, refined sugar. Not good for you.
Kelly, appreciate that, brother. Listening to us in the car on the drive home. Love that.
A little bit of comic relief here. I think the whole
Yeah,
world right
that's what
now
we
is
do.
talking about the news from yesterday, though.
Yeah, that's don't poke the bear on that one. But yeah. I'm with you.
Target prime rib, Tom.
Jersey Tom, my man. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, plug has grounded brains and liver and other organs. You can always go to KiltzHealth and get your organ blend, grass fed, grass finished.
Yep.
A lot of people don't like, you said you don't like organs. Liver, for example, is kind of an acquired taste.
Yeah, that's a
Uh,
nice way of saying it's disgusting. Yeah, there's nothing delicious that you've ever heard anyone describe as an acquired taste. Nobody says, "Hey, apple pie, oh, it's an acquired taste." Yes, it's ice cream, it's an acquired taste. No, you get the top 10 most disgusting things that human beings have ever eaten, and there's some guy somewhere right next to it say, "Well, it's an acquired taste." No, sir, it's just disgusting. Thank you and good night. Thank you for joining us. Uh,
have you ever had heart?
Okay, is that an organ, Doc? Is that an organ? There you go.
Yeah,
See,
it's right here in the center of your
yeah,
chest.
we've covered this. Like, are you trying to catch me in a lie, Doc? Is that what you're trying to do? You think I'm bearing false witness? Is that what you think is going on? No, sir. No heart, no liver, no pancreas. That'll be the next thing. You'll be like, I can see Dr. Killstein. It's like, no, listen, everybody, you gotta have the pancreas. If you've never had the pancreas. It's so nutritious and nutrient dense. Russ, you're a rock star. I love you, Russ. You're the best. That's my Celtic
So
question. I don't know what to tell you.
I've had a heart, and I actually have a beef heart in my freezer right now. It I think it weighs 4 pounds or something like that. Two and a half. Don't
Oh,
remember. I have
yeah,
to
yeah,
thaw it out. It's frozen solid right now.
yeah. No, I don't.
Lizzie doesn't get hungry, and uh, so Russ, when you eat, and I know you occasionally may have some carbs, especially if you're hungry and there's a sweet potato around. Uh,
Yeah, I see
but
what you did there. I see what you did there, Doc. I see you.
but
Okay. Okay.
do you really get hungry like you used to
No, not when
following?
I'm eating. No, not when I'm eating the right way. No, it's nothing like it. You know used to. But having said that, I've talked about this many times too. I still am slightly, but I used to be really bad a grazer. I was never a big eater, coming up with that. I never sit down and just eat three big plates of food or whatever. I wasn't that dude. I was a marathoner. I was not a sprinter. So, and you can ask any of the folks that have been around me, any of the folks that have been out to dinner with me or whatever when we go out to the different events. I am the first one to tap out. There is not a carnivore under the sun. Carnivore kids can out eat me. If you got a 7-year-old carnivore kid, I guarantee you he can out eat me in an hour sitting. Now, you want to go 10, 12 hours, I'll eat him to death. But I'm just not. I've never been the guy to just sit down and eat a big.
So have you ever been in a restaurant that had one of those meat challenges where if you eat a certain amount, they'll give you the
No, that'd
food
be a
for
waste
free?
of money. That would be a waste of money. I couldn't do it. I mean, again, I don't think I don't think you're listening. Is English your first language, Doc? I don't think. I'm not sure that you're understanding. It's like, do you hear? Listen to my face. I am not a big eater. Like I can't out eat anybody in a one like a sitting. If you can ask any of the folks I've been out with. I've been out with. I mean, I'm talking true kings. I'm talking King Kong Carnivore, Darth Carnivore Charlie, King Kong Carnivore. I'm talking Charger Mopar. I'm talking guys that can eat meat like a caged tiger. I've been with these guys. My sister Laura, carnivore, healthy carnivore, she can eat me under a table. I cannot go plate for plate with anybody. Now, if you go, give me some time. Again, I'm a marathoner, not a sprinter. So, no, I would never waste my money on some type of eating challenge. If, hey, you just got to eat all this right now, right here. I'm not built that way. And even now, I'm over it pretty much now. There was a time when I first started, I would just eat all throughout the day. Instead of eating the wrong things, I was eating, good things, steak and hot dogs and sausages, and I made some egg salad or different things like that. And I still do a little bit of that today, but that's not like I used to be. But I'm definitely a grazer. And when I first started, I didn't change how I ate; I changed what I ate. And so over the last year or so, I've been changing how I eat. Um, because it didn't. My hunger patterns really didn't change when I first started. It's like I
Well,
still
most people that are nibbling all day long, grazing, it's because of habit. They're
yeah,
not really
it could be.
hungry. You're not. I mean, if you eat and you have a full meal, let's say whatever that amount looks for you, you can be hungry an hour later because your food is still in your stomach. Now,
You know.
uh, I didn't. We're at the top of the hour, and I don't think we're gonna have enough time. But I wanted to read this comment. Some people may enjoy raw meat. Jeffrey Dahmer did. I'm all about the invention of fire. Cold rare meat just feels cannibalistic. Uh, by the way, that ribeye, I think I'm gonna, unless it's raining outside, I think I'm gonna fire up the grill and make it in the grill.
Yeah, I
I
got
it,
some ground beef and oxtails I made yesterday, and I mix them up there. Will be
how do you make the oxtails? What do you do?
pressure cook them. Yeah, pressure
Okay,
cook them. I pressure cook them for about an hour and a half. Take them out, debone them, and throw it in with a few pounds of ground beef and season it up. And because there's so
yeah.
much fat in the oxtails, I can't really endure the oxtails by themselves. I can eat them. I just can't leave the house. Yeah.
Or trust.
Yeah, I can't go anywhere. Listen, if I'm gonna eat oxtails, I gotta eat them on Friday night, okay? Because I got things to do on Monday, and so I can't. I have to live. I have a life to live. I cannot eat oxtails, you know, during the weekday. And now, if I mix them in with some ground beef, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. I used to mix it with roast, but I don't really like roast very much, so it's much better that way.
Now I have this comment here. I don't know if Sharon's talking about you, but I do know that you sing. Uh, you
I've been
sing
known to
great.
sing
My
it too.
family saw both of you last fall at the Tampa meetup. Thank you.
Yes, I'm glad that. Yes, I do remember Sharon there. I do believe, and thank you, beloved. I appreciate that.
All right. So we are at the top of the hour. We don't gotta go home, but we have to get the
Yes, we have fulfilled
out of here.
our contractual obligations to the family. Is that what you're trying to say?
Uh, Let me see if there are a bunch of people we didn't say hello here. Uh, Going through some of these names. No, I have never had pig's feet. Uh, I have had chicken feet.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't forget spleens.
Yeah,
Have
no,
you ever had a spleen?
I'm sure that I have one. It's inside me. They didn't take it out. Uh,
All right. So, where can we find you, Ross?
uh, what does Jason Aldean say? You can find me on the back of a jacked up tailgate. No, I'm just kidding. Homesick Buckeye on YouTube Tuesday nights 8:30. Come out. It is a hangout on the for the Kiltz Mighty Tribe and others. Many of them are here. I see a bunch of people asking me to sing a song on the way out. I don't know if I should do that or not. That's your
I put you.
show. I'm,
I put.
I'm not
I
on,
put.
I'm not on my platform here, folks. So it's like, you're making requests of me. This ain't the Homesick Buckeye channel. This is Doc Nelson's channel. You have to ask his permission for those type of things. But Tuesday nights, 8:30, we have a fun live stream. You can come into the chat, be part of it. Doc's there all the time. Laura Russell, Charger Morpar, co-hosts with me every other week. We just have fun, laugh, and enjoy the family. And Go ahead, Doc. What were you going to say?
No, I just put your YouTube channel in the chat. Go if
Yes.
you are watching this, but you're not a fan, or even if you're not a fan, go and heckle him. Go and subscribe to the channel,
Like, subscribe, hang out with us.
and we are going to go out with a singing outro
You want me to
from
sing?
you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, we'll take him to church, I think. We'll go back to church. You don't have to worry, and don't you be afraid. Joy comes in the morning, troubles they don't last always. You know we've got a friend in Jesus who will wipe our tears away. Oh, and if your heart's been broken, just lift your hands and say, oh, I know that I can make it. I know that I can stand no matter what may come my way. My life is in his hands. Oh, with Jesus we can make it. With him we know we can stand no matter what may come our way. Our lives are in his hands. There you
Have
go,
a
guys.
great day.
Love you
Eat
guys.
meat.
See you next time.